Well, welcome to Anxiety Simplified Podcast. I am Joanne Williams, and I am here to share some powerful strategies I've used with my clients as a 30-year mental health professional that I want to share with you today to maybe bring a little bit of calm, a little bit less stress into your life simply. So, today we're going to talk about 5 things to feel more confident. Simple, quick, easy to learn, to use. Because we all have parts of our lives where we'd like to feel more confident, different ways. Maybe you wish you were more confident enough to speak up more often at work and express yourself. Maybe you want to be more confident when you ask somebody out on a date or on a date and in romance and relationships. Or maybe you wish you had enough confidence to just start that new business you've been dreaming of. Well, everybody knows what it feels like to lack confidence. Here's the thing most people don't realize about how confidence works it is subtle habits, it is our lives that chip away at our self confidence and add to our insecurities. Basically, because we listen to other people instead of listening within ourselves. So I want to encourage you, turn off social media, turn off the TV, unless it's supporting you and you're feeling more secure. Because if it's not building a steady new habit, then it's not helping. I love Tony Robbins. Oh, years ago, he had this CANI, constant and constant and never ending improvement. CANI. I've remembered that for 25 years, just a little bit every day. Improvement, constant and never ending improvement. But if you can learn to identify and eliminate these confident killer habits, you'll find that you're naturally more confident than you realize. And that in itself, I find success builds confidence. So little successes accumulate, just like the little ones that wear away at you do the opposite. Number 1, trust your gut. But you must act even if you have fear, because your gut will warn you. That is your intuition telling you something. Listen to what is it saying. But confidence is built. You have to practice to get better at it or anything else. You want to ask that cute guy out, but you feel anxious and self-confidence. You keep talking to your friends, and the moment slips by and your opportunity is gone. A great idea comes to you during the weekly meeting and you want to share it but with your boss, but immediately start worrying and she'll think I'm silly dumb. Can you hear this self-critical talk? So you just keep quiet and don't mention it. One way to look at this example is that if you had felt more confident, you would have been able to act. Mel Robbins, no relation to Tony Robbins, I wondered about that. Mel Robbins has a technique called 5-second rule. It is only gives you 5 seconds to jump up and go ask the guy or say something in a meeting. You've got to just do it. So you jump in and you ask that cute guy out. You build your confidence with successes by just doing these things. Don't think so hard and so much. That's what's stopping you. She's shown the research that it only takes 5 seconds to go from that fear to the logic. Oh, I shouldn't. Oh, maybe I, whatever. Just do it on those things, and it's a lot better if you do it younger. Any younger people listening that do it when you're young, and people don't remember it. As we get older, like we should know better or whatever, just practice this. And the more opportunities you take, the chances are in your favor to have more favorable outcomes, probability, because you get better at it with more practice as well. So don't overthink it, act. Same for your boss. Just say it. The more times you practice, the chances you will have of having that great idea heard and loved. Feeling confident comes from acting on what you want despite feeling afraid. What is fear? Fear is there to tell you you're not prepared. How do you get prepared? By doing it. So you have to do it in the beginning, even if you're afraid. But it is important to listen to your thoughts and combine them with a reassuring emotion to build that trust within yourself that you can achieve these things with success. Your feelings are giving you information to get ready with anxiety. Be prepared and then move forward with action. So maybe before that meeting, weekly meeting, you ask for the agenda and you know what they're going to be talking about. So it gives you time to think about it, that you can present something. You're not going to be right all the time and don't expect that. So that also, when you get rejected, so to speak, um, don't look at it that way. Change that around because like Tony Robbins' book, I think Notes from a Friend, it was like he goes through the successes of Toyota, Honda, or like Thomas Edison with the light bulb. It took 10,000 tries to find the right one. And he looked at it not as a failure, as getting closer to what he knew was possible. Change your attitude. And once it is kind of interesting that once your mind sees you acting on your values and despite how you feel, you will start to truly feel the confidence. And this is a saying from Courage is the Birthplace of Confidence by Debbie Millman. But it's courage. Move through the fear. People pleasing. Most people don't like conflict. And in fact, most people are so afraid of it that they'll just go to extremes to avoid it. But sometimes fear of conflict leads to many smaller, though not necessarily less significant sacrifices. Never eating at your favorite restaurant because you just don't say, I don't like that place. Go with your easy going, whatever your partner suggests. Always saying yes and taking on too many tasks because don't know how to say no or to disappoint someone. It's okay to disappoint yourself. Never watching your favorite type of movie because your roommate or friend hates that type of show. Whatever the details of your specific situation, here's what you need to know about being a people pleaser. When you habitually prioritize other needs above your own, you train your brain and mind to devalue yourself. You're not as important. You're not, and you're going to feel that. Think about it. If you never stand up for yourself, who's going to? You will never feel confident unless you start today. But only say yes when you mean it. And if it is good for you and the other person, and then you will create a win win. And that always helps you to walk away, both really walk away filled or full. And so, no, in with yourself first. Is this good for me if I do this or say this? If it is, then move forward. Luckily, becoming more confident is often just a matter of being a little bit more assertive with people about what you want or don't want. Or I like a good one too when you just don't know. Maybe you are more of an introvert. Can I get back to you on that? I'm not sure. Just a quick, I'll get back to you. But the key that most people miss is to start very small. Then once they become more comfortable, more successful, gradually work up into bigger things. But you can feel it. Once you feel what assertiveness does, it's not aggressive, it's not being, jumping at somebody. It's just like feeling from the inside, I feel confident about that statement, or I'm okay with whatever happens. Don't judge yourself harshly. And don't think about what other people are thinking about you. You don't know what they're thinking. So don't go there. Don't waste your energy. Speaking of worrying, wasting your energy, worrying about the future. Our capacity to think about the future imagines hypothetical scenarios and is a wonderful skill and tool. It can get us prepared and ready for tasks. It is a productive way to look at the worry, to get prepared, and then let it go. If the worry continues, then you'll need to set some boundaries with yourself when it is no longer productive or helpful. So hear that about worry. Worry can be just getting prepared. But after that, you have to question it and maybe set some boundaries with yourself that it's not important or good for you anymore because it's just not helpful. Number 4, worrying is unproductive problem solving. If you spend your time thinking about something that either isn't really a problem or isn't a problem you can do something about, you'll likely end up worrying. This means you're getting all of the side effects of negative thinking like stress, anxiety, panic, with none of the benefits of genuine problem solving. So here's the thing about worry. I've got a little bit of research here, but worry gives you the illusion of certainty. It's an illusion. But in the end, it only makes you fragile. It makes you feel like you're at least doing something, right? I used to have this saying, which I don't even know what it means. I don't even know where I got it from. But once I heard it from doing self-aware exercises, I used to say, if I worry about it, it won't happen. I don't even know what that means. But so that means worry about it, right? My family were worriers. So, okay, worry about it, it won't happen. But it's a sense of an illusion, right? I took care of it, right? I'm worrying, so it's not going to happen. So it's something to do. It's not an effective coping, but it is a mirage. And in the end, all that worrying and anxiety gets you is just chips away at your confidence. Better to face up to your fear of uncertainty with confidence than live in denial about it. One study in Science Direct revealed that 91.4% of worry predictions did not come true. And the most common percentage of untrue worries per person was 100%. So we spend all this time on worry and it doesn't do a thing. So instead of worrying about what you cannot shift, control, but start to shift your own energy to what you can focus on and what you can do. Roy Bennett. Number 5, ruminating on the past. Just like worrying gives you the illusion of control over the future, rumination gives us a sense of false control over mistakes and losses in the past. Unfortunately, it can also lead to self-criticism, depression, and low self-esteem. The what ifs, I call it. What if have you ever found yourself replaying the same mistake over and over again in your mind without learning anything new? That's a rumination. If you've ever found yourself obsessively imagining alternative histories, oh, I should have said that. What if I had done that? How you could have averted some tragedy or loss, that's rumination. One of the many problems with getting into the habit of ruminating on the past mistake is that it erodes your confidence in the future. And this leads to a vicious self-fulfilling prophecy because you've spent all this attention and energy ruminating on the past and you cannot put as much energy into today. This leads to poor performance, which can become evident to support your already low self-confidence. When you invest all your attention into yesterday, you have nothing left to invest in today. It's like trying to drive, looking through the rear view mirror, expecting to get where you want to go. To stop wasting attention and energy with rumination, you must learn to accept, make peace with your past mistakes and loss. Let it go. It's yesterday. Nobody likes feeling helpless to fix mistakes, but pretending you can change them by ruminating on them obsessively isn't doing your confidence any favors at all. Instead, how about learn from them? Learn and say, I'll never do that again because that was not helpful, but I am taking it and learning from it. So it is not a mistake. It's a learning experience. Accept sometimes that you are helpless to change the past, and you will have an easier time letting go of your tendency to dwell on it. And then you do that, your confidence is sure to rise. And I just would say be less critical on yourself with this. We are all perfectly imperfect. And I'll leave you with Michael J. Fox's phrase or quote, my happiness grows in direct proportion to my acceptance and inverse proportion to my expectations that I'm not living up to in some way, shape, or form. You know, we all have these little idiosyncrasies that we may have about these worries or whatever we want to call them, but just feel you're going in the right direction. And if you're not, reach out and ask for help. That is the really important message here. Sometimes you can't trust your gut because of some trauma maybe that has happened and it does keep you looking in the past or worrying that it might happen again. So these things are different than your common everyday worries. So I do want to say, reach out if you are having that. That can be a symptom of post-traumatic stress disorder, of trauma. So you do need help with that. And if there is anything we can do, you can go to anxietysimplified.net for a free 10-minute clarity conference with me so that we could figure out a plan how to move forward in your life. So this is by no means a replacement for therapy or any medical kind of attention. If you ever need it, please reach out and take care of yourself. If you're ever feeling you ever want to hurt yourself, there's always somebody standing by at 1-800-273-8255. You can always find us on Facebook at Joanne Williams. And you can always check out these videos of the podcast at anxietysimplified.net. And there's also a free worksheet, I'll call it, on 3 ways to resolve panic attacks, because panic attacks can create that constant and never-ending loop of worry. And this gives you a worksheet you can eliminate yourselves, or there's also a workbook for $12.95 that is more of a journaling of some of the triggers that do create these. So it gets this into a conscious action plan that you can work through yourself. And if not, always reach out. Or if an emotional support animal or a psychiatric service doc may give you that reassurance, you can reach out to us at esapros.com for that evaluation. So all for now.